What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I am recording my sixth or so video in a row here, but my second Steeler video this afternoon for scheduled posting, and I'm bringing you guys a weekly series now as we get ready for preseason to start finally. We're in a bit of a dead lull now for July. Beginning of August is going to start our preseason, somewhere in there. So I wanted to look at some of the moves we had made because I think our roster is pretty well set now after all these trades and signings. I think our roster is pretty set until preseason, getting down to the final 53 and picking up maybe a receiver or something for another team's preseason cuts. Until that point, I think our roster is pretty well set. So we're going to take a look at last year's positions versus this year's positions and see if we've gotten better, worse, or stayed the same. And I'm going to grade each room and tell you guys whether last year's was better, this year's is better, or they're about a push. They're about the same. I did the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room already, where I talked about the losses of Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, the addition of Aaron Rodgers, the drafting of Will Howard. I discussed our quarterback room at length, so go back and check out that video. This one should be coming out, I'm guessing based on scheduling, probably mid-July, somewhere about like July 15th, July 17th, somewhere in there. I want to talk today about the Steelers secondary. I'm going to combine the Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback and safety rooms into one and talk about our four kind of secondary positions, the cornerbacks and the safeties, and tell you guys whether last year's roster was better, this year's roster is better, or it's about the same. It's 2024, going over our kind of main functional roster for the secondary. This time last year, we had Joey Porter Jr. as the cornerback 1, Dante Jackson as the cornerback 2. Our trade for Deontay got us Carolina's Dante Jackson to play the other outside spot. And then we had new re-signing back to the team, Cam Sutton, over from the Detroit Lions. We had undrafted rookie free agent Beanie Bishop. Those were the two guys battling for the slot positions, and Sutton was going to be suspended for the first 10 games, I think. So Beanie was getting the start till Sutton got back. And then safety-wise, we had Minkah Fitzpatrick, new signing Deshaun Elliott over from, I think, the Ravens, and DeMonte KZ in the last year of his deal. So we had a 3-safety rotation there, Minkah and Elliott being the starters, KZ being the third guy to come in. That was our roster last year. And last year overall, we gave a lot of big plays up. The pass defense had its issues. JPJ, obviously being the number one guy, played pretty well. Had a comparatively down year to his first year. Still very good overall. Still a lockdown guy. Still plays well with the ball in the air, physical, but holds a lot. And has always held. Held in college, held his rookie season, but was holding and getting penalties a lot more last year than his first year. So I would say, while his first 2 years have both been good, I think that his holding at the end of last year made it a considerably down year from his first year. So I love the guy, and I'm a big fan, and I think he's a good cornerback 1, but he does have to watch that holding. Dante Jackson, overall got a lot of turnovers. I think he had 3 or 4 picks, couple fumble recoveries. He was around the ball last year, made some splash plays as a big addition in that trade. Did a nice job getting picks and turnovers. That being said, did still get beat a lot on some big plays, especially at the end of the year. While his coverage ability went down toward the end of the season, really got beat in that last 4 to 5 game stretch. So while he did provide splash plays and was a solid cover guy early in the season, his splash plays and coverage went down toward the end of the season against the league competition like Baltimore twice, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Cam Sutton was a bust last year. We brought him back, and I was like, oh, what a big signing for us. We need that veteran third corner, that slot guy. He wasn't good in Detroit as the number 1, but he's a natural slot. He's back to his natural position. He's being signed back to Pittsburgh, where he knows our system succeeded here before. I was very excited. Sutton was bust. While Dante Jackson started up very high and went a bit down by the end of the year, Sutton was terrible the whole time. He missed, I think, the first 8 to 10 weeks to begin with because of suspension, so didn't play for over half the year to begin with. Then came in and was just getting beat. He was looking like, I don't know if the suspension was the problem, or his confidence was shot in Detroit, or he came in banged up. There was rumors of all those things, but he just wasn't himself. He wasn't good anymore. He was barely on the field, and when he was getting beat. He was taking spot away from Beanie Bishop, who was one of our kind of shining figures in the secondary last year. Beanie Bishop, coming in as an undrafted free agent, was a guy that I was looking forward to out of West Virginia. I thought was one of the best cornerback pickups in undrafted free agency. Wound up playing pretty well. He's an undersized guy who's not always consistently the best in coverage, but he's solid. He's underrated for a guy that size. He can hit for a guy that size. Was a solid tackler, played decently in coverage, and got better as the season went on as he got more reps and more experience, and came in for Cam Sutton and started getting turnovers. He came in and started getting not only interceptions and fumble recoveries, but in big games. I think he got 1 or 2 against Baltimore toward the end of the year, sealed us a game, I think, in Cleveland, played big in big games, and made plays in clutch time. And then he got benched again toward the end of the year. Not sure if they were just going back to Sutton because they thought he was healthier, or if there was a problem with Beanie. Obviously, he's been talking a little bit in the offseason, so I don't know if he's got any character issues, but he did wind up getting benched twice. But both times that he came back in, I thought, got better and better and deserved to be the nickel corner in our offense, in my opinion, last year, and got shortchanged for Cam Sutton, who wasn't good. Minka was, good in the ways that he was good in terms of like being a play caller, being a back end communications guy, being a short tackler, being a center fielder, but his coverage wasn't as good as it has been. He got beat for more deep plays than he usually does. He was out of position slightly more than he usually is, and he didn't get any splash plays. In the last 2 seasons, his splash plays, interceptions, forced fumbles, fumble recovery, sacks, those things went way down. So Minka, while still being, solid and still showing the need for his presence out there, obviously we wouldn't be as good if he wasn't out there, but his splash plays and his coverage both went drastically down last year, and he started to show in the last 2 years where he's going down big time from where he once was. Deshaun Elliott was the biggest surprise of our secondary last year, most consistent defensive player of the entire defense last year, defensive MVP last year, both in his hitting, his tackling, decent coverage. His coverage is solid, but he's more so reliable, being kind of that, decent center field guy, not really a coverage guy, more so a box safety, good blitzes, good tackling, good pursuit, good hands when he has to get his hands up. Just a very good, underrated player there. So that was kind of our last year in review. Now we made a lot of moves. Big secondary changes that I think were needed. Number one, of those guys that I just talked about, 4 of those guys are gone now. Dante Jackson was gone because he wasn't worth a big contract this year, so he went elsewhere. I think the Chargers, maybe, or Raiders. I think he went to the Chargers. Dante Jackson is gone. Cam Sutton is gone, which I think is a very positive move. Big addition by subtraction there. And then DeMonte KZ is gone. He was just no reason to be here anymore. He was one of the more ineffective players of the entire team last year. Just age, slowing down. Not a coverage guy like he used to be. Not a hitter like he used to be. Wasn't in position much. Wasn't playing much. No reason to be here. I think KZ and Sutton were 2 of the most needed cuts we had coming into this season, and we got rid of those guys. So no more Jackson, no more Sutton, no more KZ, and the trade of Minka Fitzpatrick, getting rid of our one-time ace, who, like I said, production-wise was going downhill big time in the last 2 seasons by lack of splash plays and giving up some bigger plays than he is used to giving up. That being said, we brought some guys in. We signed Big Play Slay, Darius Slay from the Philadelphia Eagles, the world champions. Very good physical outside cornerback number 2. We traded Minka Fitzpatrick to get Jalen Ramsey, a longtime 10-year NFL veteran from teams like the Dolphins, who's consistently an interception guy, big-time hitter, big-time tackler, good coverage guy, physical guy. It looks like he has position versatility, who's a big key to this offense. We also signed several other guys. We signed Juan Thornhill, veteran safety from played on Cleveland last year. He's been a long time 7, 8, 9-year guy who's been a proven tackler, hitter, and decent coverage guy. Juan Thornhill now being here gave us room to let go of Minka Fitzpatrick. We also have 2 other signings. We signed Braden Eccles from the Jets as a decent rotational slot corner, and we had another undrafted free agent, much like we brought in Beanie Bishop last year. We brought in a cornerback who it looks like he's moving to safety, potentially, in Sebastian Castro, one of the bigger undrafted free agents this year, much like Beanie was last year. So now all of a sudden, our cornerback/safety room looks like this. Joey Porter Jr., cornerback 1 on the outside, Darius Slay, cornerback 2 on the outside, Jalen Ramsey, either slot cornerback on the inside or possibly moving to safety. A lot of talk about this. Beanie Bishop, either our main slot corner or our second slot corner. And then you have Eccles on the bench with guys like Corey Trice, who I like a lot. Then safety-wise, you have Deshaun Elliott back again and Juan Thornhill, or bringing up Jalen Ramsey, or the use of Sebastian Castro. So you've got some kind of questions, right, about this room. Obviously, JPJ and Slay are going to be out there, and you're going to play Jalen Ramsey a lot. He's not going to be a once-in-a-while guy. So either you're going to go to nickel a lot, and you're going to either use Ramsey in the slot corner or push Slay to the slot and use Ramsey outside, and you're going to use those three guys in corner coverage a lot in nickel defense primarily, or you're going to move Jalen Ramsey to make a Fitzpatrick spot and say, we're going to do a straight-up trade. We traded Minka to get a better safety now. Jalen Ramsey is a more proven guy in terms of more longevity, more consistency, and more turnovers. And now we're going to move Ramsey, who's getting older and slowing down, but we're going to move him to Minka's spot so that Ramsey can play alongside Deshaun Elliott, and we're going to put Juan Thornhill as our third safety to do the occasional third safety moves in dime and quarter and stuff like that as an upgrade to DeMonte KZ. And then again, you've still got pieces like Eccles that are solid. Corey Trice is a solid outside corner who still needs more time. Beanie Bishop can be your starting slot corner or your fourth corner. If he's your second inside guy, that's more flexibility. And you've got the unknown Sebastian Castro, who's a player to watch, who I like a lot, that could play either corner, like he played in college, or move to safety, like he's been thought by the draft experts to move to. So now all of a sudden, you've got a bunch of flexibility. How do you play this? But I think in any measurable, in any way you decide to do this, whether you use the three big physical outside corners and keep Beanie at your fourth, or you move Ramsey to safety and you use him with Juan Thornhill now, with Castro here, you've got much more flexibility. You've gotten younger with Eccles and Castro. You've got more inside corner depth with Ramsey. And I think automatically outside-wise, you've upgraded with Slay. So with this room, JPJ, Slay, Ramsey, Beanie Bishop, Deshaun Elliott, Juan Thornhill, potentially Ramsey at safety, and then Eccles and Castro, you've got more depth, you've got more youth, you've got more veteran presence, you've got more physicality, and you've got more guys that can move around. So I think even in spite of losing a player as good as Minka Fitzpatrick, by adding the veterans like Slay and Ramsey, two proven long-term upper-level guys, two of the top guys in their field, adding youth like Eccles and Castro for depth, still having Beanie there, still having Corey Trice there, and then you add Juan Thornhill, that even if you want to go with just the two safeties you got on your team now, Thornhill and Elliott, I think, can do the job. If you want more coverage, you need Ramsey back there, but you've got the guys to do that. So more depth, more youth, more veteran leadership. I'm going to call this one a big improvement, even in spite of losing Minka. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below. How do you think they're going to use Jalen Ramsey? Is Beanie going to get passed over for the slot corner spot? Are they going to do a lot of nickel and keep Ramsey at corner? Are they going to move Ramsey to safety? Do you think someone like Juan Thornhill, if he had to be the number 2 safety behind Elliott, could he be the main cover safety? Do you think Sebastian Castro gets a chance to play meaningful minutes this year after preseason? What do you guys think? How are they going to do the alignment? And do you like this year's lineup better, or do you like last year's? I'm going with this year's being drastically improved. Tell me in the comments below what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me if you like this video, and go check out my quarterback room video. And tell me in the comments what other rooms you want to see me cover from the Steelers from last year to this year. Go Steelers. See you guys soon.